Sorry, with the microphone.
Well, we've got to get back to...
This singing lark has been dropped on me all of a sudden. My heart singing, soon bells will be ringing. This is the moment of sweet love. I will love you longer than forever. Promise me that you will leave me never. Here and now, dear, all my love I vow, dear. Promise me that you will leave me never. I will love you longer than forever. This is Elvis, isn't it? Now that we are one, clouds won't hide the sun. Blue skies, oh, why smile on this our wedding day? I do love you with all my heart.
All right, I have to save this to get it...
Now, I'd like to show you how difficult this was. I'm sitting there, I'm deeply involved in doing this PowerPoint. Next thing, a microphone stuck under my face. Sing this. He gives me a piece of paper, and it's that song. That's how much preparation I had for it. So.
well, I'm going to get you to sing another one later that we can tack onto the front of show number 9. Okay, so now I have to export this. Export. We'll just call this show 8, save.
That's show 8, isn't it?
Show 8, yes. Tomorrow's show. Here it goes. It's take a couple of minutes to save, and I can't minimise it, so we'll just have to...
Well, what song would you like?
Well, I'll go and get the music. It's here.
I've always been reluctant to sing.
How about Unchained Melody? Here we go. It's just short and sweet.
Oh, my love, my darling, I hunger for your touch. A long, lonely time. Time goes by so slowly, and time can do so much. Are you still mine? I need your love. I need your love. Godspeed your love to me.
Well, you're going to have to sing it again because the microphone's not on. That's just for the YouTube. Later, babe, later.
All right, we don't do it again now. We'll just keep going. Just wait till that's out the road.
Yes.
Cinema, this is what happened. Cold as a cucumber. Even Presley wouldn't do that. At least he'd warm up his throat, wouldn't he?
Would you like some honey? Oh, we've got 59 seconds, 57, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I wish I could sing. Oh, my love, my darling, I've hungered for your touch a long, lonely time. Ooh, time goes by so slowly, and time can do so much. Are you still mine? Mine. I need your love. I need your love. God, speak your love to me.
I'll just sing Old Man Trotting.
Lonely rivers flow to the sea, sea, to the open arms of the sea. Oh,
I can hear the dogs of the neighbourhood out there howling and yelping.
I know I'm trying.
All right, now we're ready here.
Okay, right, Joel, that's all saved.
Mm-hmm. The other cameras are running just to give us some hurry up there.
All right, now, so I can remove this.
There'll be a helicopter again.
They came at my singing. It's probably a drone putting an end to. Okay. It's unusual, isn't it? Nighttime flying. Are we ready to move along now?
We're going to move along.
So you're going to do this now?
How about I do it later when I clear my throat?
Yeah, we'll splice it in.
And you can splice it in, yes.
Okay.
Because it's already, the camera's already
That's
recording.
right. Okay. I'm getting good at that. I'm getting good at that now. Take this out. Seems to work better. All right. We are recording show number 9. So, moving along from show number 8, I'll repeat the last slide. The delusion that covers the whole earth brought to you by the Jew, the Babylonian Pharisee priesthood, still in control of my temple, which is the earth. And that they have made out Solomon to be holy when the opposite is true. They have done this because they know how to use gematria and the Babylonian numbering system, and have built into their script, which is the Bible, lies to keep you ensnared within the pages of a book that is satanic. By changing the words from the original King James Version to numbers, they are then not counted within the gematria, and so the trap. Because the original 1611 KJV is the gallows they are hung upon, as I, the Christ, reveal and expose them. So what they put together is a satanic book to ensnare everybody, because nobody's expecting the Christ back as the man, the dude in the flesh walking around on 2 legs. All Christendom is looking up. They're either saying, well, God isn't coming back as a man because he is spirit. He has only come as spirit and filled with in his people, etc. And how many denominations out there believe that they are the ones that Jesus is coming back for? I have read so much, and I can tell you, because I was in the Pentecostal movement for 14 years, everybody thinks it's them when it is none of you. They all slam the Catholic Church. The Christ was reborn back into the Catholic Church for a reason. That is the church that he comes to rescue, the 1.2 billion souls who are being devoured at this point by Francis, who is the Antichrist. But the Antichrist in general are the Jews who call themselves Jews and are not. Judaism is the Antichrist, and they've got their man in place sitting upon, it's not even the throne, he didn't even go on the throne, their dude who bows to them and has delivered the Catholic Church that used to be the enemy of the Jews who call themselves Jews and are not. He has delivered it into their hands. So woe unto the inhabitants of the earth, because the only church that would stand up against the ones that want to kill everybody made in the image of God is the Church of Rome, and now it's been delivered into their hands. So this is a continuation, this PowerPoint, of the giants that wandered the earth until the time of the flood. And what happened at the time of the flood was that Mars bumped into the earth. All the water spilled from Mars onto the earth, and the rotation of the earth slowed down. The center core of the earth slowed down so that gravity increased and could not, all the animals fell over. They couldn't stand up anymore as the core slowed, and they were drowned. And so
that little boy there is
yes, looking at a
dinosaur.
Dinosaur bones. There's a great big dinosaur. Now this is diagrams of the blue whales being the largest, 60 to 90 feet. The finback whale, 72 to 82 feet. Sperm whale, the right whale, the orca, then the beluga, down to the narwhal, the humpback.
The reason they called it a right whale is because when they harpooned it, it would float. The other whales, they had to pump air into them. But the poor things are still alive, they pump air into them.
Okay. These, this...
Now, you can look at those numbers because...
I thought they were interesting.
Well,
how come they haven't been
go through it
saved?
then.
Because they were deleted originally, but... okay. So the Earth today has an area of 197,359,000 square miles. When you add the area of the Moon today at 1,465,000...
14657
Is this meters squared, is it?
miles.
Miles.
All
Okay.
miles.
1,465,000. No, that can't be right. There's a...
14 million.
14 million, okay.
657. What's the number 657? That's how many lords there are in...
Yeah, it's the conversion
The
rate
New
of
Testament?
helium to hydrogen to helium.
It's also
of
the
the sun.
nuclear fusion rate of the sun, changing hydrogen to helium.
All right.
The 197 is my name, Brian Leonard Marshall.
It's from the Earth area.
It's also how many times the word Joshua is found in the Old Testament. And I was arrested for counterfeiting coins at 6 Joshua Way in 1987. 86.
All right. So what's this next number? 2120.
Add the two together.
Oh, adding the two together for 212,016,400. 212 in Hebrew is to revolve, which is what we've been talking about. 164 in Greek is a prisoner of war. Prison planet, you're at war. With who? The Jews who call themselves Jews and are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan. The Pharisee, Babylonian priesthood controlling the temple. Satanists.
Now at the bottom there, you missed it, but they had Mars as well.
Here we go. Now back to Mars. Mars today. That's the radius, is it?
Radius 2108.
Miles. And
Now,
then,
I didn't do all the numbers on these because you said to me, don't bother with it, we won't do those in that PowerPoint, but I didn't want to delete them. You
Well,
could have just
good.
skipped through.
well, no, you said to delete them. I wasn't.
Well, don't delete them. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I haven't, obviously, because I thought they were good, but anyway, doesn't matter. 39,237,400,000 miles cubed is the volume of Mars, right?
Yeah.
And then the area, miles squared, is 55,840,700, and the circumference is 13,245 miles. That's Mars. So, the Earth before the flood, the circumference was 25,000 miles, the radius 3,978.8769 miles, the volume, here we go, I'm just going to read the numbers, 263,858,000,000 miles cubed, the area 198,944,000 miles squared, the circumference 25,000 miles. Subtract the area after the flood. So the Earth today is a radius of 3,963 miles.
And that word is Patmos on the isle where the book of Revelation that you'll find in your King James Bible, which is tremendously in error. However, it does say the word Patmos, which is 3963 where John was on the island of Patmos in 96 AD on April the 5th.
Right. So the volume of the Earth today, 2607120000000 miles cubed. The area, 197359000, we just said, miles squared, and the circumference has been reduced to 24,900.3 miles.
So therefore, it's smaller in area by 1585, which
Square
is
miles.
perfect in Hebrew and cause to forget in Greek.
Oblivious of, forget. Which is what you are a lot of the time until you find these miracles. These are the miracles of today,
Look, I
turning
don't
up.
remember a lot of this stuff. I've got to get in the mood. Right?
So the earth before the flood. Oh, we've just done that, haven't
Okay, well,
we? Subtract after the flood. We did that.
well add the area of the Earth today to the moon area.
Is 396,296,214.16. Subtract
From 25,000, right?
the area of, so the answer.
So the area is 198944000. So you just take one from the other. Right, go to the next slide.
Yeah, add the volume of the Earth and the Moon, you get 26598867000 miles cubed. Mars volume 39237400000 miles cubed.
See, each of these numbers here, you just play them out and it'll show you how you can read them in the concordance. Right?
All right, starting at the top. The radius, what's this of?
Well, what was you just reading?
Oh, this must be the radius of the sun.
Keep going. Radius.
Well, that was Mars. We finished with
Yes.
Mars. This radius here is 432,000, which is half of 864, so it's going to be the
Exactly.
sun. Miles. Okay, volume 3.37707 E plus 17 M. It's a big number. Area. This is of the sun. 2345190000000 miles squared. Circumference of the sun. 2,714,340 miles.
Distance around.
That's the distance around.
Compared to the moon now.
Oh, this is compared to the moon. Okay.
How tiny the moon is compared to the sun.
Yes, right. Okay. All right. And it's 400 times. Is the
So I've done other numbers, which isn't in this presentation, which we will do probably in the future when we run out of things to talk about.
So, all right, getting down to the core of the Earth, and this is how gravity has been altered. The core of the Earth rotates slightly faster than the surface of the Earth. The speed which the core rotates is the determining factor of gravity. When it was pre-flood, at the circumference, the core was spinning much faster due to the energy pouring in through the white hole at the Earth's centre. This spin caused the gravity to be far less than today. So heavy things could walk around. And they would grow, it was the entire atmospheric conditions, they would grow taller, live longer, of course, patriarchs, etc. Okay, there's a close-up of the Earth's core. Now, this tells us that the pouring of energy through the white hole. Now, in science today, Stephen Hawking, Richard Dawkins, and all the other idiots out there will have to come up with a name, an all-capital letter name for these. Oh, FWs, that will do.
Yeah, how about DORK?
Dorks? Okay. FWDOR court case. These guys don't have a clue. These are page shills. If you listen to them, just take one sentence that they speak and then try to get any meaning out of the one sentence that they may speak. Doesn't matter on what subject. None of anything that they say makes any sense at all. They are page shills, high profile, to lead away from the truth. So, this tells us that the pouring of energy through the white hole is pouring out. The bubble in the middle of the galaxy, it's a pouring out. If it was a black hole, there'd be nothing. It would all be sucked in and nothing would exist. It's a white hole
have
where from the
galaxies, that's the
heavenly
point.
realm
You can only have a
is
galaxy
pouring,
that's pouring
out.
out from the centre, not bloody being sucked in. It is.
So this tells us the pouring of energy through the white hole from the heavenly realm stopped when Mars collided with the Earth. The result was a violent molten magma bursting out through Antarctic from the moon, and all of the water from Mars dumping onto the Earth. That's a new word.
Now, there was a guy called Dr. Ballard who was employed by the CIA, given all the equipment to find a submarine, maybe two submarines that went down from the Russians. And what they wanted to do was to find them and then build a ship in 12,000 feet of water and have this ship 600 or 700 feet long. And the bottom open up and a huge grapple go down, grab the submarine and pull it to the surface. They were successful to a certain point. However, the thing broke in half and they lost some of it or all of it. As a reward, Dr. Ballard was given the equipment to use, and he used it to find the Titanic. And then later, after another job he did for them, he had the machines again, and he used these to locate the shoreline of ancient towns and cities and around the Mediterranean and the Black Sea. And it's 168 feet deep. So with these machines, he just dropped them overboard, went down 168 feet, and there's a shoreline all around the Mediterranean. Hello? All right, and the Black Sea in particular.
Okay, so the molten magma solidified in the absolute zero temperature of space. The iron core at its centre is 40 miles. So this is, we're talking about the centre of the moon right now, right?
Yep.
The iron core at the centre of the moon.
It's an iron core at the centre of the moon, and it is solidified, and it is 40 miles off centre. So therefore, it's attracted towards the Earth's magnetic field, and that is why the moon is always got one face pointing towards the Earth.
Yes.
The actual area of the moon is the same number as the face angle of the Great Pyramid. That is, it wobbles slightly back and forwards on its axis as it's going around the Earth, and it's 51%, 14.3%.
Okay, moving right along. So fluid iron in the outer core has continued to solidify at the boundary between the two cores. So we're still talking about the moon, right? So the inner core has grown steadily to its present diameter. Now this can't be right, this is the Earth. So, all right. Fluid iron in the outer core of the Earth has continued to solidify at the boundary between the two cores. So the inner core has grown steadily to its present diameter of 1,500 miles. This is the core of the Earth. 1,500 times pi equals 4712 miles. In Hebrew, 4712 is from 6896 and means the first stomach or scoop out. Isn't it marvellous? Mm. And in Greek, 4712...
Think of everything, my darling.
I know.
That's what amuses me. Human beings think they can outsmart God, the Creator. I mean, I have difficulty getting them to actually follow what I'm talking about.
Oh, nobody does, babe. That's why I said you've got to change the tactic to get through to them by singing.
Talk to the women instead, huh?
Yes.
The kids.
And they love your singing. That's what they want to hear. So Greek 4712 is stadion, a certain measure of distance. Hello? I mean, is anybody understanding what is going on here? The marvellous, amazing perfection of what is being revealed here. Anybody? Here's a close-up of the moon. Crust, mantle, partial melt, outer core, liquid, inner core, solid. And these are awesome. This is the impact from Mars and then the spewing out, punching out of the moon. Molten magma solidifying once it hits the absolute zero temperature of outer space. Marvellous. Now today is June the 3rd, 2014, at the time of this recording and the working of this, when the moon is 384,400 kilometres from the Earth. Greek 3844 is para, which means near, above or beyond.
That's the average, they say, 384400.
Oh, so it's not that particular
But
measurement.
it's interesting
for
you say
today.
June the 3rd because on this date in 1769,
Right,
that's when
the
they
transition.
clambered up the mountain on Tahiti to take a bearing, and with their mathematicians and scholars and botanists and astronomers from and Mr. Green from the observatory in London,
So
Greenwich
this is
Observatory.
Cook, Lieutenant Cook.
Cook. He wasn't a captain, he was a lieutenant. And they did that for a reason, to keep him away from the normal captains who have their clubs back in London or Southampton. And they didn't want him mixing with them because they want his findings not to be told to anyone except them. That's the Admiralty. And the height of this is where it gets a bit odd. The height of the mountain that they was doing this all from is 7353, which is the area of the Shroud of Turin.
This is in Hawaii.
No, Tahiti.
Oh,
It was called George III Island because it was George III that was under the kingdom reign of George III at the time. It was George III that was actually gave John Harrison a hand, who was a relative of mine, to get the money owed to him by the Parliament after they had the longitude prize. It was £20,000 at those days, like it's
Huge
like
amount of
20
money.
million today, right? But needed it because they couldn't get longitude exactly. So when Cook, with the same longitude and latitudes taken off the SS Dolphin with Captain Wallace, who went there before him, on 5,000 miles from the South Pole, they knew it was going to be around, because they read the pyramid, the 50th layer of masonry, 5,000 miles, right? Just put 2 zeros on. So that's how they found it. So they sailed up around the Cape of Good Hope. Now the Cape of Good Hope, the length of it, this is the very tip of South America, to the North Pole is the number 10084.5, which times pi is 3168. That's it is in miles. So that's where he sailed around, not knowing that he was that distance from the North Pole. He then sailed up the coast of Chile and then made a left turn, went out west just under 5,000 miles, keeping along the 5,000 mile distance from the South Pole, because he could determine that. That was easy enough because that's latitude. And ran smack dab into Tahiti. There, and that was George III Island at the time, there Cook writes in his ledger, ship's log, Wallace, longitude correct.
correct, yes.
So he found it as a test to see if the one clock that Harrison had been confiscated, he had 5 clocks in all, he kept on making them smaller and smaller and smaller, so they confiscated all the clocks and they took the 2 best clocks, the 2 smallest ones, and Wallace had one and Cook had the other. Wallace then sailed on to Easter Island,
Yes.
where they counted 888 statues. Hello, Jesus in Greek. So then later on in another mission, Cook was sent there and he counted the same, but then they destroyed the Ashra. The one, there's 2 gigantic statues coming out of the side of the volcano, refined 7 times if you like. So all the other statues in disarray running towards the coast in panic because suddenly the Lord is back. The priests have their ears cut off and their eyes put out, and they're looking towards the Lord coming back because they can't see him no more, they've got no coral eyes left. And their long ears have been chopped off. They can't hear the Lord either.
They can't see or hear.
So all of a sudden the Lord's there like it is today. I'm here, right, frightening the crap out of everybody because you're being judged, whether you like it or not. And the gallows is looking very, very sweet in my mind at the moment. For a lot of these Jews and Zionists, Rupert Murdoch is number one on the list. Right? So this is what happened. So I can talk for days about that. Also, while Cook was there, he had a spare time. He showed up, according to the records, and this is determined by the winds, right? 666 days after Wallace had arrived. Okay. Now he's munching around and wondering what to do, and he goes across to these different islands, and he finds a pyramid there which is 11 layers, about half as big as a football field, and the base of it is 23229 square feet, and that is the age difference in days of my grandfather Francis Aloysius Golightly, right? And the Pope, his second name is Aloysius. Right?
Joseph.
Right. Now, he picked the name out of a spiritual, for spiritual reasons. He was urged to pick the name of Benedict, right? And of course, it was the Benedictine monks that was supported by and built the Arbroath Monastery and 11 others in Scotland, which was financed by the silver that was owned by Malcolm III and his wife, Margaret, the Queen of England. When they married, their son got killed in battle, and the grandchild was my ancestor as well, as the other two were as well, King William Lion of Scotland. And with that, he made his own money, which I have done for that very reason, in honour of him.
His own coins, as you have done.
As I have done. And this is where sterling silver comes from. Right? Why? Because he built Stirling Castle with the money he had. He died in Stirling Castle. He then was taken the 75 miles or so to Arbroath, and he was buried in Arbroath, where we went to both of them. But we went to Stirling Castle at night, and I could see in the distance this one big statue standing there, and I thought, there's the old king, right? So I walk up to it, and it's Robert bloody Bruce, that bastard. So they have put Robert Bruce, who came along a long time after King William the Lion, and they have usurped his castle. Instead of having King William,
who built
the bloody thing, they have this arsehole there, and he represents now, of course, the Knights Templars, which is Freemasonry, which were the ones that stopped my ancestor Patrick Golightly becoming king. You should have been king. Now, where are you up to?
All right, moving right along, we're still on slide number 57, not long to go. So I thought you meant that the measurement for today to the moon, so that's why I put that in there. But anyway, so the average of the moon distance from the sun. Now, the inner core of the Earth, made up of solid iron, super-rotates in an eastward direction, meaning the solid iron inner core is about the size of the moon. So the moon-sized inner core was rotating much faster before Mars impacted the Earth. Therefore, the gravity was far less when the spin of the inner core was faster, allowing the huge animals to walk on all four legs. The atmosphere, this is before the rain, the water dumped on to the Earth from Mars. The atmosphere was called a firmament. It was a layer of dew. There was no rain until the flood. So the firmament, it could not form rain, since rain forms from a dust particle collecting ice crystals high up where the temperatures are really cold. They gain weight and then fall into a higher temperature of air, melting to fall as a raindrop.
So it can't happen in a pre-flood situation, because the firmament covered the earth and everything was moistened by the dew.
The dew.
Okay? So you can't have rain in a dew. That's the whole point. But once the sun and the firmament was gone and the sun was available, then you have the situation of the earth and the clouds forming and the raindrops fall, etc., because there is dust in the air from pollen, etc.
This is why dinosaurs were discovered with vegetation in their mouths and partially digested in their stomachs. We've all heard the stories of how frozen mammoths are found preserved in Siberia, frozen so quickly their flesh could still be eaten today, complete with subtropical vegetation in their mouths. Temperatures 200 degrees below zero are needed to quick freeze an animal of such large bulk. It is claimed, requiring extraordinary catastrophism, the likes of which creationists feel could only be associated with Noah's flood. The Mars impact exposed the animals to open space as the air was displaced in a few hours. The height of the pyramid, the altar to the Lord in the midst of Egypt, up to the rejected capstone, is 454.56465 feet, or as degrees Fahrenheit, minus 454.56465 degrees Fahrenheit equals minus 270.3136944 degrees Celsius. And that, so the height of the pyramid up to the rejected capstone, 454.56465 feet, as degrees Fahrenheit equals 2.8363056 Kelvin. 2836 in Greek is koilia, meaning belly, womb, or the heart. Or the completed height of the pyramid in inches, 5,813 degrees Fahrenheit is 3,211.666.
Just put
repeater degrees Celsius. So 3211 in Hebrew, Yalid, from 3205 is born, home born child. The end. This is what it is all about. A small child will lead them. The child is the Christ child, reborn to the earth, January the 11th, 1944, at 2:22 a.m. into Sydney, Australia. January the 11th is the day, 2:22 is the hour. As Jesus, he said that only the Father knows the day and the hour. Not the angels, not he himself, only the Father knows. Why was that? Because
I didn't tell him.
And also, he knew it would be the Father coming back, his soul all grown up. He would be the Father, who is the Comforter, and he has to reveal to the devoured world the day and the hour of his rebirth. It's the Father speaking. It's not the young buck. That's history. He was the young buck in 1978 when he crashed the logging truck in BC, Canada, and was taken bodily. He ascended bodily into the heavens once again to be sent back and said, only you can save the world. So this is what he's been doing ever since. So it's his voice that's been heard as the seals have been opened from the 20th of December 2006. It's over 7
What
years
have I
ago.
always said? Frankly, Scarlett, Adam, be down.
So here endeth this part of show number 9. We've got 28 minutes more. We'll be back.